Now, the problem with Scripture, and when you try to preach it in the time that I have, is every passage of Scripture has about 20 or 30 sermons in it. Depending on the circumstances, depending on the time of the day, depending on who you, and you've been in those services where the pastor preached all 20 or 30 of them. But I want to stop right here, and I want to sit down on this point, because there's some of you think that God's given up. Some of you are at the end of chapter 11. And your world's fallen at a heap in your feet, around your feet. It's all come crashing down on you. You can't make sense of it. Nothing anybody tells you seems to make sense. You can't make sense out of your own thoughts. And now you're thinking, I have messed up for the last time. That you have gone beyond what God can do. And I know some of you would want to pull me aside and say, but you don't understand, Mike. You don't understand how stupid I was. You don't understand what I did. You don't understand the people I hurt. You don't understand how bad my marriage is. You don't understand how crazy this addiction has made me. You don't understand, and I probably don't. But I'm not up here to understand your problem. Don't mishear me. Don't mishear me. Pay attention to me. I'm here to tell you that if you're at the end of chapter 11, God writes chapter 12. He started creation from nothing. He calls Abraham from the dust of Babel. He'll do something in you, with you. It is his story. It's his story. It's not a story about Abraham. Who is Abraham? You know, when you start reading about Abraham, you think, okay, this is going to be an impressive guy, right? This is the guy that God chose, right? He's a 75-year-old guy who's still living at home. What? Oh, yeah, and he's not, Abraham, this great man of faith, not so much. You read his story, not once, but twice. Twice he told pagan kings that Sarah was his sister. He thought, Sarah is so pretty, they're going to kill me and take her as their wife. So tell everybody you're my sister. And not once, but twice, we have pagan kings confronting Abraham, the great man of faith, for lying, for lack of integrity. You would think that the one that Jesus the one that God chose would be able to follow. Abraham kind of stumbles after God. Peter kind of stumbles after Jesus, doesn't he? You see, it's not about who Abraham was. It's about who God is. That nobody knew Abram until God called him. Nobody knew Moses until God called him. Nobody knew David until God called him. Are you seeing a pattern? This is the story of God, written in 100,000 different chapters, and one of those chapters has your name on it. And when we turn the last page and we read the end of your story, we don't go, oh, that person's incredible. What we do is say, this God is unbelievable. It is God's story written in 100,000 different chapters. And one of those chapters has your name on it.